FRR Racing's FRR-idays Cup for the 5th time this evening. For a racing DP here, joined by Ricky McNamara in the commentary box. You all right, Ricky?
Once again, I think we've had this conversation before, Dave.
So do I. We have been told by one of the drivers. Yeah, just a little bit. We have been told by one of the drivers. It is confirmed there are PSN issues at the moment. They've checked on the PlayStation Network website. There are PSN issues. What we've said to the drivers is if we have any further problems, we're going to put off the event this evening. We can totally blame it on Ricky PSN McNamara. I'm only joking. We're just going to see how it goes. If we have any more problems, we will postpone it, probably Monaco till the end of the season as a season finale. Now, because of the time and doing Project Cars a little later on, we've put it onto a one-shot qualifying session for the drivers where they can put their setup on the car. And then it'll be the 25% race. Excuse me. And I have already been quite kind and set it to dry conditions for the drivers. Because I think it would be a little bit harsh to have gone through everything we've gone through and then give them a totally soaked track. I mean, you may disagree with that one, Ricky, but I mean,
it would have been fun. Would have been fun to watch.
It would have been. PSN though has been
nice.
It has been a pain in the backside. Right, okay, so one shot qualifying is going to start. So Ricky, if me and you just sort of don't really do anything, move out of the way, retire from the session. And it may allow us to see who is out on track. And I'll tell you what, it's hammer time at the moment. He's sitting in first place, I believe. Looks like quite a few of the drivers have decided to retire. They didn't have to, but there we go. Now, a one-shot qualifying session, we're not going to be able to get to see all of the drivers, but it looks like it's hammer time's a little bit quick here, although his car is sliding about a little bit. But we'll try and focus.
Right on the back of though.
Okay, it's hammer time's heading down to the tunnel, although I think the camera has frozen. No, it's not. It's just playing about on his particular view. Now, I mean, we talked a little bit in the off-broadcast moment about how frustrating it is when PSN plays up. It is really, really frustrating.
Caseley's taken pole position. Sorry, Dave, to cut you off there. But Caseley is now in first, it says.
And he's going to cross the line in first as well. So at the moment, Caseley, 5th, 9th, 8th. RMS Maranello was disqualified. The camera angles may get a little bit frantic here. No.
Ted Hammer dropped all the way down to 8th.
Oh, disqualified.
Oh.
Quite a few disqualified. I'm wondering, you know, whether the drivers on that one lap, because we've put it on a one-shot qualifying, whether a few of the drivers had their lap invalidated. Yep. Yeah. Will Butler, Stringy B, RMS Maranello, It's Hammer Time 44, RDB, all got invalidated lap times. Now, it is only a one-off, hopefully, that we've done a one-shot qualifying here because of the time constraints this evening. What we're more interested on now is being able to get to the race and for the drivers to have a good race.
Got some getting out of the way to do as well.
Oh, did you see what positions we were in?
Yep.
Oh, don't tell me.
I'm like mid-pack.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now this is where, I've got to admit, Codemasters, you really, 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 if you want to be a league-based type of game, have an option to have 2 admins. Those admins can choose not to race, can spectate and start not on the grid. Gives a great view of the start of the race without getting in the way. I thankfully am 9th, so I've only got a few cars behind me, but it's Monaco and there's nowhere to get out of the way.
No. We just have to pull over to the left and hope for the best.
Yeah.
I think, sorry, not left.
I'd be half tempted, you know, Ricky, if I was you, drive up to turn 1 and get all the way over to that right-hand side and just hope nobody follows you.
Do you know, that's Oh, that's not a bad idea, but I don't want to risk it. Don't know if I want to risk that.
Well, this is going to be a very tricky start of the race for you, for me, and for the drivers. By the time we get to actually see what's happening on the track, they should all pretty much be heading up to the first corner. For those drivers that are behind me, hopefully they will see that I am ahead of them and will go around me. We've done it, Ricky. We've managed to...
That was easier than I thought it would be.
Agreed. Okay, let's try and see what's happening then on the circuit. Let's try and focus on the race. K-Slay was on pole position and he is leading as they head through Casino Square. I think from this point on he could run away and win this race. Millstar is in second place, but it's getting very busy around about fourth. Now, we talked a little bit about what we'd like to see from this race, and it was sort of clean, fair, but it's not going to be easy to see.
Going around that corner.
Now, with a few of the drivers having their laps invalidated, I mean, you asked me who's worth keeping an eye on, and of those drivers I mentioned to you, quite a few of them are quite far down the grid. So they've got a bit of work to do around the track, around Monaco, to try and gain some extra places as Gonks just clipped the barrier, heading round swimming pool. Oh, and he's off, he's off.
Ferraris. Has he got... Gonks gone then. Oh no, it's fine, he's still there. Two Ferraris very close, Gonks is slotted in between them.
I think he's just nudged one of them, sorry, he's just nudged one of them F1 Roadrunner.
He has, yeah. An early retirement.
That, I think, was John Rhino's. I know that he doesn't particularly...
Oh, Butler's in the wall. He's got going again.
And this is one of the situations where the drivers will be glad that there is no damage on these vehicles, because if there was...
Oh, yeah.
There would be a lot of cars heading towards the pit lane. Now, obviously, for the front row racing and league racers, the World Championship and the World Series, damage is on. Even for Monaco, damage is on. Gonk. I need more coffee. Gonk has retired from the session. So yeah, it's going to be quite a trick. I'll tell you what, K-Slay, he's had a fantastic few opening laps.
Stingy B right on the back of Twist Royalty, diving it down the inside. So Harvey Chicane, he's clipped the wall. Stingy B is round. Twisted Royalty got away with that one.
Hoping to find reverse gear now, which he manages to do. And now Will Butler has got somebody to race down at the back of the grid. I tell you what,
we've got Millstar on the wall as well. He's binned it at Raskas.
He's lost a lot of places there. He's gone from
K-Slay
second to sixth.
Yeah, K-Slay is running away with this.
I tell you what's worth keeping an eye on though, it's Hammer Time 44. He's on the prime tyre at the moment. He's in 8th place, 15 seconds off the lead, and like you said, K-Slay, he is running away with it at the moment. And I mean, I do think he is a bit of a talent to keep an eye on. I mean, Monaco is one of those racetracks that it will show up a driver's imperfections or a driver's ability, and at the moment he's just pulling away. But having said that, have you seen what tyres Mr. Hamilton 44 is on?
Oh wow, yeah, he's on the prime tyres.
Now, definitely. Now, seeing as it's a 20 lap race, usually on a 50% race, this Monaco can quite often be one-stopped. So the question will be, if you were racing in this now, Ricky, how long would you go on those prime tyres?
I don't know. I'm tempted to say, like, what, straight down the middle, half distance, 10 laps. Because the option tyres can usually do, you know, not as much as the primes around here, but it's not too much difference.
He's managing to hold off RDB, and I tell you what, RDB is no slouch. He's on the option tyres.
He's got RMS all over the back of him as well.
Yep. Now, RMS Maranello, in the qualifying session earlier on, he did have the fastest lap time at one point, and he was looking very, very strong around this track. As Stringy B has now left the session, Mr. Hamilton's gone deep at the harbour chicane. He's had to...
Very deep.
He's had to...
It's going to get busy into back. Oh. Somehow got away from that.
Yep, managed to not cause any kind of collision there, but he is struggling a little bit with the rear end of his car, I think. On those prime tyres, I mean, it's a tricky one. You've got to push them to keep the temperature up, but if you push them too far, you lose the rear end. You lose the rear end, you overheat the tyres, and destroy tyre life, which in this length of race shouldn't be too much of a problem, because like you said, you could go half and half. I mean,
yeah,
I think the option tyres could potentially comfortably do those 10 laps. It'll be interesting. I mean, I suppose for the prime tyre runners, like Mr. Hamilton 44 here, he's got RMS Maranello behind him, who's managed to get ahead of RDB. They're on the options. So if these guys pit on lap 6, lap 7, lap 8, he knows that's about the limit of those tyres potentially. So he'll know he's got to go to lap 12. But RMS Maranello is all over the back of him now. And Mr. Hamilton did struggle with the harbour chicane on the last lap. Is he going to get his braking better this time? Yeah, much, much better.
All three of them through that corner very well.
Now, if you was in... Sorry, go on.
Go on. RMS Maranello's got to get a move on if he wants, wants to get past Mr. Hamilton, because as you say, he's on the option tyres, so he doesn't want to be stuck behind him for too long. But I think he's going to line up and move down the pit straight here after Raskas. Very close to him through there. He's on his gearbox. We could see it overtake. Nah, he's too far back.
Mr. Hamilton had a very good exit out of the final corner as RMS Maranello gets closer. I mean, what I was going to say to you was, if you was in RMS Maranello's position, would you go for an overtake, or would you just think, right, okay, I'm just going to have to wait and see if he makes a mistake?
Yeah, see, I mean, I said he needs to get a move on, but like at Monaco, if you're pressuring the guy in front, it's hard to drive around Monaco with someone right on your gearbox. So what RMS is doing, I think, is he's just applied a bit of pressure to Mr. Hamilton, hoping he makes a little bit of mistake so he can sneak up the inside somewhere.
And the thing, I mean, as you mentioned, it's not easy to drive around this track with a car behind you. And really, if you are the car behind, you don't have to do anything. Just being there is enough, quite often. Now, yeah. he is getting close. You keep an eye... Oh, no, he's going for the move. He's taken advantage straight away. Oh, as RDB comes flying in as well. That was a brilliant move. I think he realised on the previous lap he didn't have the speed down the start-finish. So
no, he didn't.
I mean... It looks like he's worked out. He sat there a couple of laps, worked out where can I get him, picked a spot, done him absolutely beautifully. Okay, let's see.
Already pulling away from him now as well. I think RMS is on the charge to catch Casely,
I tell you what,
so
find out what that gap is between Casely and RMS Maranello. I'm just having a look at where Millstar is at the moment. He's in 6th place with Twist Royalty not too far behind him in 7th, and Twist Royalty is on the prime tyre. Millstar is on the options. Will Butler still going around the circuit. He's on option tyres as well, and it's hammer time in 9th place. He's pitted. He's coming out on options. Oh, he's nearly spun it on the exit of the pit lane. He's coming out on the option tyres with 13 laps to go, so he's gambling on 13 laps on those option tyres. So, Ricky, what's the gap?
Just waiting for him to come through the 8.8 seconds. That's the gap between Casely and RMS Maranello at the moment. See if it comes down in the final sector.
I mean,
RMS going around Raskas now.
He's pulled out a big gap already, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely. So going to be 7.9. So he's cut a second off of Casely in the final sector alone.
And posted a new fastest lap. That will have got Casely's attention right there. Now, visually, we're seeing a bit of the cars jumping about. For the viewers, do apologise. As I mentioned at the start of this part of the live stream, it has been confirmed that there are PSN issues this evening. which hopefully won't continue throughout the rest of the night, because I wouldn't mind having an easy night of commentary on project cars and then probably playing a bit of FIFA later, but that won't happen if PSN is playing about. Now, is RDB able to do anything about Mr. Hamilton 44? I think the answer at the moment is no. He's not been able to gain or overtake like RMS Maranello has. I'm impressed with how RMS Maranello sort of caught up, overtook, and has gone past. F1 Roadrunner in 5th place. He's got Millstar's clipping the barrier a little bit, but that could just be visual effect. But one thing I will say for these drivers is they are looking absolutely on it. They're not fearing the barriers too much, and as I'm sure you know, Ricky, around Monaco you can't afford to fear the barriers.
No, definitely not. Can't fear the barriers around Monaco. You let the barriers get the best of you, you're straight in one of them.
I'm trying. There's a recent F1 driver who retired not that long ago. He went on to be an F1 test driver, and it wasn't Fisichella. It was an older guy before him, and he complained that Monaco should not be an F1 Grand Prix circuit. He says it's dangerous, it's hammer time. He's on option tyres, posting new fastest lap. Yeah, he was saying that this should not be a racetrack. It's too dangerous, and he hated driving around here. He used to drive around it slow. And for me, that's a driver that really, in that situation, the team should have said, okay, you know what, we'll put someone else in the car.
Yeah, definitely. I don't like when people say Monaco should be a Grand Prix, as RMS Maranello's come into the pits now on lap 9 to change tyres. Obviously going for the prime tyres. If he went for options, that would be a bit of a silly move. But,
it would have been.
Yeah, he's got the prime tyres on. Where's he going to come out? Still in where he's come out in 3rd place because everyone behind him's pitted as well.
Twist Royalty has continued on. RMS Maranello, yeah, he's come out of the pits. Millstar just coming out of the pits on prime tyres as well. F1 Roadrunner and Will Butler. Millstar, Will Butler, oh, that was close as Will Butler goes past the both of them down the start-finish line. Interesting camera view I'm getting there.
RMS Maranello all over the gearbox of Twist Royalty as they're coming up to the hairpin. Always pretty much pushing him through there.
Well, this is a tricky situation because Twist Royalty hasn't pitted yet. He's on warm prime tyres. RMS Maranello's shown he's fast already. He's going to want Twist Royalty to get out of the way, but he doesn't have to.
He's going to go down. He's going to go for it down at his harbour chicane. Oh no, he's too far back. No, I thought he would have did a suicide move down there.
Get ready for him to replicate the overtake he did a few laps ago, because that's what I reckon he's going to do. I reckon he knows he was strong in that particular corner. Here we are now. He's had a look. He's got the speed, but he can't get past.
He can't make it this time.
He'll be hoping.
Very good spatial awareness there, putting his car in the right place, going round Raskas. Don't want to chuck it up the inside.
Definitely not. And RMS Maranello would have been hoping that Twist Royalty would have pitted that lap. But, as we mentioned earlier on, for those drivers that started on the prime tyre, knowing when those option runners pitted gives them an idea of how long those options will last. Now RMS Maranello, he only went what, 8-9 laps, so
yep.
For anyone that so go on.
This is all playing into the hands of Casey right now. As long as RMS is stuck behind Twist Royalty, Casey can get his lead back up and should win this race comfortably.
What RMS Maranello's got to be careful of as well, though, is that the car behind him, Mr. Hamilton 44, started on primes, has pitted, he's on the option tyres. Oh, RMS Maranello...
He's not that far behind him either.
No, he's not. RMS Maranello has got so much better traction, but there's a car in the way. He just can't get past. Oh, he's trying to get close. Oh, you could tell he was looking for it, couldn't you?
Yeah, he's definitely looking for it there, yeah.
Casey.
He's got to keep...
Sorry, Casey has pitted, I think. He's put the prime tyre on, so he's comfortably out in front at the moment. Nah, is RMS Maranello going to go for the move?
RMS Maranello just doesn't have the straight line speed down that straight to get the move done.
I mean, you mentioned
do it in a corner.
You mentioned that. What? I mean, I'm not going to ask you to give away your setup, but I mean, this is a circuit where traditionally you go very high downforce. I mean, is that the kind of thing that you would do, or would you gamble for a straight line speed?
No. I would do exactly what RMS is doing. Oh, as he's going up the inside and the hairpin. Oh, they're very close. Nothing there, but yeah, I would do. They've had. Are you going to let me talk, guys, or what? I'm just going to keep hitting each other.
It's Monaco. It's bound to happen. Oh, it's a big crash! Big crash!
He's gone absolutely spinning. That's him done, I think. He's going to try and get it back on the track. But with those narrow walls in Monaco, it's not easy to do. No,
that's cost him quite a few places. Couldn't see exactly what had happened there because they were just coming around the kink. But that was. It was reminiscent of the GP2 crash around here a couple of seasons ago at that exact point. And it's possible that RMS just, with a faster speed, just caught the back of him and around he went.
It's just I was on board of Twist Royalty, and it just looked like RMS just went spinning by himself. He'd obviously hit Twist Royalty with some speed to do that, but it's just no braking or whatever. But I don't know.
The thing is that the exit of the tunnel always appears to be a very easy part of the racetrack. But in reality, it's a very difficult section of the circuit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had to pick a part of this racetrack to have a breather, you can't really pick anywhere because even the start-finish straight isn't a straight.
It's not. It's a curve, so you've still got to, I mean, it's only a curve, but you've still got to keep your, still got to pay attention. You can't just be like, all right, have a little bit of a rest here, because at the end, before you know it, that first corner's come out of nowhere.
Oh yes, I mean, as Max Verstappen found out when he was trying to overtake Romain Grosjean. I will admit though, I mean, when Max Verstappen had that race around here, he was phenomenal. He showed his own abilities. It was just unfortunate that he had the crash that he did. But it is nice to see a young talent coming through in F1 who's not afraid to overtake. So yeah, I find that quite interesting. Now, we've got almost a little bit of a battle going on in 7th and 8th place at the moment with F1 Roadrunner and Will Butler, who seems to
RDB's in the wall. He was with RMS Maranello, but he's in the wall now. Don't know if there was contact there or whatever, but back up and going. He's right in this battle now with F1 Roadrunner
and Will Butler. Oh, F1 Roadrunner is on 2 wheels. He's in the barrier.
I saw that. I thought there was a camera glitch, but how did that happen?
I have no idea. But that was one hell of a crash, and it's taken him a few moments to get going. And I'm not surprised a retirement has come his way.
He's had enough. That's the steering wheel in the ocean.
Steering wheel in the ocean, helmet in the crowd, overalls on eBay, and the underwear on the head, walking around the streets of Monaco. Okay, K-Slay still leading this race. I tell you, he just looks comfortable. Now, I mentioned earlier on,
very comfortable.
This guy, I mean, I don't know how old he is, to be honest, but I know he's not been racing for long. He's not been racing F1 for long, and he's only had a PS4 for, 2-3 weeks. And here he is, looking like a duck in water around the streets of Monaco. Now, RMS Maranello's got himself back up, I was going to say, to second place, but he hasn't. Mr. Hamilton, 44, is in second place, running option tyres with a 10-second gap and 5 laps to go. We could have a bit of a battle going on at the end of this race, Ricky. 10 seconds between them, potential delta difference of 1 to 2 seconds. I reckon Kay is probably aware that that gap may be coming down. I mean, it could be worth just keeping an eye on that gap. K-Slay's just crossed the line now. And Mr. Hamilton's already got it down to 9.5 seconds. Let's see what it is when he crosses the finish line. It's gone up a tenth. Ooh.
It's gone up.
Now.
So what, Butler 89 and RDB are very close at the moment for 6th and 7th. They were, all three of these cars were close just a minute ago, but it's hammer time and a little bit of a moment coming out of the corner and spun up his rears, but he has caught back up to him now quite quickly as well.
And he's on the option tyres. That looked there. Yeah, it looked like he gave Will a little bit of a nudge there. I mean, even the final corner here, I mean, with DRS being activated almost straight away, it's so easy to lose the rear end on that final corner.
Yep.
I mean, well, it's so easy to lose the car on every corner around this track.
Any corner at Monaco is an easy corner to lose your car on, yeah.
But it's hammer time. It's looking fairly quick at the moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him going for a little bit of a, perhaps I wouldn't say a lunge, but if there's a gap, going for it at some point. Now, usual overtaking place is the harbour chicane at the exit of the tunnel, but everybody knows about that one, so it's not always that easy to make a move, but I've got a feeling he's going to give it a try. No, he's lagging a bit. It's difficult to tell as where he is.
Down to 8.6 seconds now. He's got the length. He's got about the length of the pit straight now to or pit curve, should I say, to Casey.
Oh, well, sorry, Will Butler. Will Butler's just had a bit of a crash through the swimming pool section. So has RDB.
Oh,
it's hammer time's gone through him. Now I've seen overtakes. Wow. That was an undertake.
That was definitely an undertake. You got to that one before I did.
Will Butler disqualified from the session. That's probably from going through the escape part of the circuit. Disappointing for him, but I mean, Ricky said this earlier on this evening. What are we going to see around Monaco? We're going to see people get disqualified from the race. The limitations are tough around this track. And if you do find yourself in a collision and going straight through a corner, there is the opportunity that it thinks you're doing something a little bit naughty. Now, RMS Maranello... Sorry, I was going to say, RMS Maranello's in third, 22.8 seconds off the lead. So, what is that gap?
Gap from Mr. Hamilton to Casey's 7.2, so he's cut 1.6 seconds out of him in that lap alone. But he's still got 3 laps to go, and I'm not sure he's going to make it.
I don't think he's going to make it either. He's pushing hard. You can tell he's on it. I mean, it's never easy to race around this track. We've mentioned it a few times. It's never easy to commentate around this track because there is quite often so much going on. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know how many drivers are currently left in this race.
There are 7 left in the race.
Okay, so you could imagine how many there'd be left if damage was on.
Millstar and Hammer Time are going side by side, but up the hill. They're going side by side around Casino Square as well. Oh, and Millstar's got past him, I think. I think Millstar was behind him, or...
Oh, I think Millstar... I think Millstar may have been... told you it was difficult to commentate around Monaco. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, either way, these guys are close. I've got a feeling that his Hammer Time may have caught him.
The rear end. There he goes.
Let's give him Millstar a little bit of a breather.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, Millstar, he's a driver that he's had a few reserve drives as well. I think, actually, he's been a reserve driver for you.
He has, and Hammer Time's going for the move through the back. Oh, he's at the back out of that one. He's riding the wall round there. Don't really want to see that, but...
It could be visual effect, because his car's jumping all over the place.
His car is jumping all over the place, and this isn't good for Millstar either, because when you've got a car driving that's lagging all over the place, it's it can get very annoying and you don't know where they are.
Definitely. Now, I do know that It's Hammer Time 44 has been asked by one of the World Championship drivers to be his reserve for the Monaco Grand Prix in the World Championship next week. But what I would say is, if It's Hammer Time's car is jumping about as much as it is at the moment, that would be one hell of a problem, because in the race at the moment there's no damage, so if a collision happened it wouldn't be good. He's trying to make an overtake round the outside. They've caught each other's wheels both into the barrier, and I think RDB
Maranello's had a bit of a spin, and he's got Twist Royalty all over his gearbox now coming into Raskas. They had a bit of a gap between them, so RMS Maranello must have had quite a spin, and Twist Royalty has pushed him through these corners.
Twist Royalty's on the option tyres as well. Now, RMS Maranello was about 22 seconds behind the leader a couple of laps ago. He's now 26, so he probably has had a bit of a moment somewhere with the addition of Twist Royalty being quick on those option tyres. But yeah, I mean, if it's Hammer Time Racers in the World Championship and his car's jumping about as much as it is and a collision happens, I mean, you know what the outcome's going to be, don't you, Ricky?
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a car in the barrier with no wheels, no wings. I mean, we saw what happened in the World Series when Adam 4600 had awful connection. It's no fun for any of the drivers. Now, these two are...
Eddie yesterday. Not nice.
No, it's not nice at all. Now, I'm quickly going to try and get on K Slate before he crosses the line, as he's doing now.
Down the pit curve now.
Unflappable.
Drive from K Slate.
Yeah,
He's been touched all race. Hammer Time crosses the line 6.5 seconds behind him. We've got a battle for third going right down to the wire. Twist Royalty wants to get past RMS Maranello, but he can't find the place to make the move, and he's backed up a little bit now. It looks like RMS is going to take third place. Twist Royalty right behind him, taking fourth place.
Interesting race from those two as Twist Royalty loses it over the finish line. Millstar in fifth place.
The back of RDB for 6th and 7th. He's dropped off a little bit now. Oh, Hamilton's going up against that wall. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on with that car? That's a spaceship, not a car.
I know Mercedes have been working on a new engine for 2016, but warp technology, I think, may be banned. But RDB is going to finish ahead of him.
Keeps the place.
Yeah.
Crosses over like 7th.
And we're done. Well, that... I mean... Talk about throwing someone in the deep end for a commentary session. I think, Ricky, you've probably had the most difficult commentary there, as Zinedine Zidane is a marshal by the looks of things, keeping the champagne on the drivers. A very difficult race to keep an eye on, that one. K-Slade just absolutely disappeared out in front. You said there may be a few drivers with penalties. Yeah.
Wow. Any move changes? Yeah, we got Twist Royalty's jumped up above RMS Maranello.
It's Hammer Time has jumped up above RDB as well.
Yep.
No, I will have a look. A few penalties for collisions. Collided with its Hammer Time, gained a place for RMS Maranello for one of his penalties. Not enough time to go through the whole of this list, but it's looking fairly long, as you can see. But we were expecting that before this race was even going. A few of the drivers had mentioned that it is a bit tricky with the track limits around this place. But to be honest, I mean, with it being Monaco, there is really, you got turn one where you got to be a bit careful. Then there isn't another corner until the harbour chicane. And then there isn't another corner until the exit of the swimming pool. So there's only really 3 places where you could potentially pick up exceeded track limits penalties. So from
all those, the fastest driver on the track is Hammer Time was the only one not to get a penalty.
Interesting. Although his car was flying all over the place.
His car was flying about though, yeah. So
yeah. I mean, something I would say to its Hammer Time, or even any of his race engineers that may be watching, you'll have seen what his connection was like there. If there's anything you can do to help him, for that cable, improve that connection, because if his car's moving about like that on Wednesday, that would be a serious problem. Now, I do know from previous experience, though, that on days where PSN is playing about, sometimes for a spectator, the cars can be moving all over the place, but for the drivers, it's not a problem. But we have also experienced it where it is. Okay, Ricky, I dare you to try and pick a driver of the day.
Oh my god. I think I'm gonna have to go with K-Slay. He had a great race. I mean, he wasn't really touched the whole race. He had it. It looked like he was comfortable. He had RMS closing on a little bit at the start, and then what's his name, Hamilton, at the end. But he had it wrapped up. He was very comfortable and a very well deserved win.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of drivers that stood out for me there. K-Slate, definitely. Mr. Hamilton 44 seemed to be doing fairly well. RMS Maranello, probably one of his better showings of his Friday drive so far around one of the most difficult of circuits. I mean, I also think is one to keep an eye on. That guy can drive. We've known him for quite some time under different names. So yeah, he's one to definitely keep an eye on. Now, to the viewers, I do apologise, and to the drivers, I do apologise on behalf of PlayStation Network and Front Row Racing and F1 2015 for the error message connection problems in qualifying earlier on. Hopefully they won't continue on. Now, we're going to have to shoot off because I've got commentary to do in about 20 minutes on the Front Row Racing Project Cars Fridays League. So I need to go and get myself prepared for that. So, Ricky, thank you very much for joining us on the commentary this evening.
No worries.
Definitely
do it again.
Nice to hear, and definitely the most difficult commentary to try and do for your first time. Definitely. So yeah, thank you very much. To the viewers, thank you very much. Hopefully someone will have come up with a name for you and one of the other admins will have spotted it and will know what to call you. Tricky Ricky, possibly, but that's not good enough. Anyway, next up on the Front Row Racing YouTube channel will be in about 20 minutes time, 9 o'clock, for the Front Row Racing Project Cars Fridays League. It's LMP2s around Monza. That should be one hell of a race. After that, it'll be Sunday at 8:30 p.m. for the PCS League. So we'll bring this show to an end. So thank you, everyone. Cheers, Ricky.
No worries.
Thanks for watching. We've been Front Row Racing, and we'll see you all again soon.